Many of us think about our island for the beaches or maybe the Gulf and obviously all the great hospitality. But you know what? We're surrounded by water. Lisa Richardson talks safe boating.
Here we are at Skull Creek Marina on this beautiful Lowcountry day as always, and we're here to talk about some boater safety, which is important for everyone in our community. And we are with the folks from the America's Boating Club of Hilton Head Island, Pete, Dion, and we've got Dave who owns the boat, and they're going to be talking about some very important things: water safety, vessel safety, and we're going to start with checking your boat before you ever leave the dock, right? So what are some things we need to be sure of when we go out boating?
We want to make sure that you have some safety items. First of all, that you have enough life jackets, and Dave shows you two different styles of life jackets here, and he has one on. The next thing we want to do is make sure that you have a first aid kit. First aid kits, you never know when something can happen out on the water and you need some help right away. The next thing, you have to make sure that we need a fire extinguisher on board. There's a typical fire extinguisher that we have. The next thing is when we do a vessel safety check, we have, we check the navigation lights to make sure that the bow navigation lights and the stern navigation lights and the anchor lights work. And then we also go over some recommended things that Dave should have on his boat, like a marine radio that can contact the Coast Guard if there is a problem. We talk about an anchor and an anchor line, make sure that those are readily accessible. You can use them and they're not all tied in knots. One of the nice things that we also talk about, especially in Dave's boat, it's not cluttered. There's no lines around so that you trip or the anchor line isn't around. So those are important things that we look for. We also check the boat for visual distress signals. We have flares. He has a box here with flares in it, whether they be shooting flares or a flag and a SOS thing like that. Those are all required that you have on your boat. The other item that you want to make sure is that all the boats have a display of numbers on the bow. On the outside of the bow, there's numbers, South Carolina registration. And then you have to have registration for your boat. If you get stopped by the Coast Guard, they're going to say, where's your registration? Where's your hull identification number? And those kind of items, your insurance papers and those kind of things. So those are all important things that we look for with a boat owner to make sure that they have all the required equipment to be safe on the water and are required by the United States Coast Guard. And we do this on a voluntary basis.
That's wonderful. A wonderful service that we need here in the Lowcountry. With the weather is so beautiful all year round and people are boating with all kinds of boats and families and different situations. So we thank you all for providing this information for us here to help us be safe on the water.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa. Coming up next, Hilton Head Prep's new sort of athletic director talks about spring sports and his new football coach. Stay with us.